أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا وسيدنا محمد بن عبد الله وآله وصحبه أجمعين. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Distribution of zakat funds on the basis of monthly payments. Distribution of zakat funds on the basis of monthly payments. In other words, is it permissible to distribute the due zakat funds on a monthly basis? This will be the subject of our discussion today, inshallah. Let me give you an example in order for us to comprehend and understand the point of our discussion today. Let's say the amount in your possession at the end of the year is New Zealand dollars 100,000. This 100,000 divided by 40, the due zakat amount to be paid is or will be 2,500 New Zealand dollars. So now, my brother, my sister, you already know the total amount of zakat that you should pay, which is $2,500. So the question is, please listen to the question carefully. Understanding this question will help us to understand the point of our discussion. These $2,500, should you pay this amount in one go to a poor family, or can you distribute it to them or to the poor person on a monthly basis, on an installment basis? I hope the point of our discussion today is clear. So according to scholars, there are two opinions regarding this issue. One, according to the majority of scholars, it is not permitted to delay the payment of zakat. Rather, it must be paid immediately when it is due. However, slight delay can be accepted if it deemed necessary, like few days or 1 month or 2 months. This can be accepted, slight delay. The second opinion said it is permissible to distribute it on monthly basis to a poor family by taking into consideration the need and interest of intended poor family. This is very important. These are the two opinions. Many contemporary scholars also are of the view that it is permissible to distribute the zakat funds on monthly basis instead of giving the money all at once, because they said the intended poor family or poor person will benefit more when zakat is given to them on monthly basis rather than giving them all at once, especially if the such poor person or the poor family is among those, or is one of those who do not behave well with money. They don't manage money well. He or she is known for wasting money unnecessarily. He or she, when they get the money, or when they got the money, they will misuse it and finish it immediately and remain poor for the remaining entire year, asking people for donation, for help. So the contemporary scholars are of the view, with the second view, that the zakat money can be distributed on monthly basis by taking into consideration the need and interest of the intended poor family or the poor person. However, they said we have to keep in mind that all the due zakat funds, even though it's allowed to pay on monthly basis, all the due zakat funds of that year must be paid before the next zakat period. Means we have to keep in mind that all the due zakat funds money of that year has to be paid before the next zakat period. Means you should clear off the outstanding zakat balance before the passing of a lunar year which your zakat is due. So you have to clear it. By end of the year, you have to make sure that you finished, paying the poor family the due zakat that you are paying on monthly basis before the new zakat period. And they said this permissibility cannot be considered as a delay in paying zakat beyond its due date. This cannot be considered as a delay in paying zakat beyond its due date. Rather, the interest and need of the receiving poor family should be considered in this regard. So this is their point. So my brother, my sister in Islam, we have these points, these two views, and the views of the contemporary scholars. They incline to the second view, which said that it is permissible to distribute zakat on monthly basis, and we have to take into consideration the need and the interest of the poor family, of the poor person that's receiving the zakat. And this cannot be considered as a delay in paying zakat. Rather, the interest and the need of the receiving family must be considered in this regard. So my brother, my sister, the best way out for these differences, for your reassurance and certainty, as follows. 1, to pay your zakat in advance in order to help the intended poor family throughout the year, with the intention that it is the following year's zakat. Let me explain. Under normal circumstances, you usually have an idea of how much zakat you pay annually, yearly, based on your salary or any other income, etc. Let's say you calculated that at the end of the year that you should have to pay, or you should have to give zakat 2,500 New Zealand dollars, as we said, in zakah. You calculated based on your salary, your income. You calculated that at the end at the end of the year, the money that you should pay in zakat will be 2,500 New Zealand dollars. So you can divide this amount over the months and pay zakat to the intended poor family on a monthly basis before the end of the zakat year, with the intention of paying zakat, as I mentioned earlier. For example, you can start paying your zakat in advance. Let us just understand the meaning of paying zakat in advance. You can start paying your zakat in advance to the intended poor family on monthly basis. Let's say from Muharram 1445 for the zakat payment due in next Muharram 1446. You start paying from Muharram, month of Muharram 1445, for the zakat payment due in next Muharram 1446, means against the zakat of 1446. So when your zakat is due, means in this case in the month of Muharram 1446, then you check, you calculate if the paid zakat amount through this period is less than or if the amount that you have paid through this period is less than 2,500 New Zealand dollars, which you're supposed to pay, then you must pay the balance to fulfill the obligation. Means if there is any shortfall, then you must make the difference. I hope we understand. We understand the meaning of paying in advance. Let me say it again. Let's say you have the nisab of paying zakat. You know your salary. You know how much you're supposed to pay in 12 months, your zakat. So you start from Muharram 1445 against the zakat payment due in next Muharram 1446. So you start from today. You receive your salary today, for Muharram, you pay the zakat. You keep on, writing it, noting it, At the end, when your zakat is due, the next zakat, mahfudatun fi is due, then you will calculate how much you paid the intended poor family. If you pay less, then you must pay the balance to fulfill the obligation. In case of any shortfall, you pay less than you're supposed to pay. Let's say 2,500 New Zealand dollars, then you pay 2,000. In Muharram 1446 means there is less 500, so you have to pay that 500. In order to fulfill the obligation. I hope we understand the meaning of paying in advance. Some may say, what about if the zakat amount paid is more than $2,500? Means you're supposed to pay $2,500 and you pay, let's say, $2,600 at the end of the year because you were paying in advance. Then when you calculated, you found that you paid $2,600 instead of $2,500. The answer is simple. According to scholars, any extra amount that you paid, you can consider that as sadaqah, as charity, because it will be difficult for you to take it back from the receiving poor family. And you just consider that as sadaqah. Inshallah, Allah will reward you for that. So my brother, my sister, for your information, I hope we understand the meaning of paying in advance. So for your information, as per the Sunnah, Zakah can be paid in advance for 1 year or 2 years maximum in case of need. Because Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib asked permission from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to pay his zakat in advance, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam allowed him to do that. Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, narrated by Abu Dawood, asked the permission from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to pay his zakat in advance, for the interest of the poor people. Then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam allowed to do that. So you can pay your zakat in advance. So I hope we understand the meaning of paying in advance. The second best way out is for the poor person or the family to entrust you, means you are the zakat payer, in some kind of agency arrangement to keep the money for them, or to keep the money for him, or to keep the money for the family, and give it to the family or to him on a monthly basis as per the need of the family or as per the need of him. Let's say this is the zakat, you allocated the zakat, you identify the family, this is your zakat, this is zakat 5,000, 2,500, I'll give it to you, this family. So you identify the family, you inform the family that I have 2,500 for you from me as zakat. And he, the poor person, or the one who deserves to be given zakat, or the family, will ask you to keep it for them and give it to them on monthly basis. And give it to them on monthly basis as per their need. So it's kind of agency arrangement. So you will act as an agent for them in keeping that amount. But that amount, you have to separate it from your amount, because it's no longer your amount, your money. You allocated the money, this is zakat, you take it separate, and then you inform the poor person that I have $2,500 for you as zakat. Then he or the family will ask you to keep the money for them, because now it's their money. So it's amana with you. It's no longer your money. You cannot benefit from it. It's their money. So you will, in order for them to be able to survive for the whole 1 year, they appoint you to keep the money with you and keep giving them, on monthly basis. Their own money. That money is not yours. I hope this also is clear. This kind of, agency arrangement. So my brother, my sister in Islam, these two solutions are consistent with the opinion of the majority of scholars, the first opinion. So, you have the opinions, and the ways out that I mentioned, either you pay in advance, or you inform the poor person or the poor family You allocate the money, you inform them this is your money, and they appoint you as their agent to keep the money for them and start giving them every month, for them to be able to survive for the whole year. For your information, many charity or Islamic charity organizations do that. Many Islamic charity organizations do that. They accept the zakat from the rich people and keep it, and they will start distributing it slowly as per the needs of the poor people. But they inform those who give them the zakat. Those who give them the zakat, they will inform them. They will keep it and distribute it throughout the year. For you, the moment you give them, you are free. You have already done your duty, so you are free. You just give it to them. So many charity organizations do that. So my brother, these are the issues and the solutions and what you are supposed to do. So it's up to you to choose whichever opinion you think is convenience to you. Allahumma faqihna fi ad-din wa alhiqna bis-salihin. Ya Allah, forgive our sins, cover our wrong deeds, grant us proper understanding in our religion, and include us among the righteous people. Ya Allah, include us among the righteous people. Ya Allah, include us among the righteous peoples. Among the righteous people. هذا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا والحمد لله رب العالمين.